August 13th, 1987. We continued northward today along the coast of Labrador till we came to a place called Triangle, a quiet, secluded, almost landlocked harbour nestled among the cliffs, a summer fishing station for the people of Charlottetown. People shift out here in the spring as soon as the ice moves away. It must be quite a change to leave the sheltered bay with its rivers and forests and settle here among the barren hills and rocks of the coast. But Wilton Turnbull and his family wouldn't have it any other way. They like it here, and in a year like this can do well, especially at the trap fishery.
Well, that's the main thing here, sir, is trap. But we do get a bit of fish out of gilnets now in the car and later on. But if you don't get a bit in the trap, you got a hard scraping.
Yeah. How have you done so far this year?
Oh, done very good, sir. Yeah, up to this time.
Yeah.
Better way ahead than last year.
And
the prices are better, and so we're a lot further ahead.
Yeah. So all told, it looks like it's shaping up for a fairly good year for you.
Well, I would say, sir, that everyone here in Triangle is going to make a really good summer.
Yeah. Great to hear good news for a change in the fishery.
That's right, yes. Yeah.
Just a water haul today, but Wilton and his crew will be back, confident that the cod will return to Triangle. They often fish cod traps here till mid-September, so there's lots of time yet. On we steamed in the Garia Bay till we found ourselves picking our way through Squashoe Run. It's the inside route the schooners would take years ago on their way north. Skipper Don Linfield pointed out something curious on the shore. An old tombstone dating back to the last century, all alone, almost hidden now among the spruce and gooity. George Dempster, an Englishman. We wondered why he was buried here on this lonely shore. Soon we left Squashoe Run far behind. The sea grew a bit tumbly here on the exposed coast, but there seemed to be a bit of fish, especially outside Punchbowl and Black Tickle. These are the grounds fished mainly by crews from Newfoundland. More and more boats have been coming north since the Labrador fishery began to pick up a few years ago. Speedboats and longliners have replaced the skiffs and punts and schooners that once fished these waters. You don't hear the word stationer and floater and livier as much these days either. It's a new fishery now, a different kind of fishery. Even the fishing harbours have changed. Old-time Labrador fishermen who can rattle off the name of every fishing room on the coast might be baffled to learn that Punchbowl is now by far the busiest port on the coast. And here's why. The federal government has built a salt fish complex here. A plant, an office, a store, a wharf, a laundry. The Salt Fish Corporation, which runs the place, supplies oil, gas, salt, and fishing supplies. Fishermen can sell their fish fresh to the corporation or to other buyers from Newfoundland. Little wonder the boats flock to Punchbowl. The harbour is filled with boats, the shoreline ringed with cabins. Overnight, Punchbowl has become a mecca for northern fishermen. This is an incredible sight. A few years ago, the Labrador fishery was dead. It had been destroyed by foreign draggers fishing offshore. Today, prices are high, and though the fish may not be as plentiful as they once were, it's a lot better than the 60s and 70s when the northern fishery had bottomed out. Jack Wadman runs the new salt fish complex. Jack, when you started this up now, did you have any idea there'd be this many people around?
No, when we came out the first time, we didn't think there'd be, we thought there may be 30 or 40 fishermen, but after 2 weeks, we saw that it was going to be much more than that.
And can you handle it? Are you a bit worried about the future?
Oh no, I think with some more buildings and some more money, spend some more money, we'll probably get another building for storing salt fish. Storage is our biggest problem. There's some place to store the fish when we salted. As you can see, we haven't got very much room there now. Another week or so, and we'll have to start shipping out fish.
There's a crew hired on here at Punchbowl to split and salt the fish that's brought fresh from the boats. Some crews ship their fish in salt bulk. The store. No, there's not a fire sale on. It's just a normal business day as fishermen and their families line up for provisions. I waylaid Gus Brown of Somerford on his way to the store. Well, Gus, you came here from Newfoundland and set up here in Punchbowl. What do you think of it all?
Well, it's a lovely harbour, sir. A lovely place. A good place for fish. You know, a good place for a man to make a living.
Yeah, how well are you doing now?
Fair.
Yeah.
You know, within reason. It's early yet.
Yeah.
Last year this time I was just got her. I made $11,000 last year in 7 weeks. $11,000 each in 7 weeks fishing.
So you've got a cabin here? And,
we got 3 cabins, me and my brother.
Right.
Stage. And a couple of cod traps, and new speedboat, 2 new engines, you know.
So you're going to keep coming back to Punchbowl?
Well, I retires in 25 years, so I'll come back on then.
Well, you must like it here. It must be doing well with the fish.
The Labrador there's neither better place anywhere in Canada than the Labrador coast.
Yeah. You don't mind the weather. The weather's been pretty bad this year, but that doesn't matter to the fishermen, I suppose.
Bad weather for we people, yes, but good for the fish.
Yeah.
I like to see foggy weather, rain, in wind. That brings in the fish. Yeah. If you're going to have sunny weather, then you're going to have bake apples.
But you didn't come here for bake apples?
I came here for fish, not bake apples.
Karen Shiner didn't come to Punchbowl for bake apples either. She came to keep house for her husband, who fishes on a longliner. Then came a chance to work in the plant, so she signed on. Now everyone has to pitch in. Here's Wally, her husband, coming home with the kids, Bradley and Nicole. They must have smelled dinner cooking. The Shiner clan is from Smith's Harbour in Green Bay. They've taken over this part of Punchbowl. Wally's mother and his brother's girlfriend live next door. Wally described how this part of town got its name.
The place I'm home called Shiner's Point, see? So when we came here then, we noticed only us there, so somebody says a good place to call this Shiner's Point, so.
Shiner's Point North.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, what did your family think of it? Karen, you like it up here?
Oh yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. You usually fish with Wally, I believe.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, but you came up here and decided to work in the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's it working out, okay?
Pretty good, long hours, but...
How many hours a day?
About 12 hours, most days.
So I guess, Wally, you were hoping she'd come up here and do some cooking and take care of the place, but she's working harder than you were.
Yeah, right. I sort of changed all my plans altogether because I thought if I had her here, it would be fine up. You know, she could do the cooking and washing the clothes and that while I was out fishing. And now I find out when I comes in that she's working too, so.
If the fish is slack, though, she'll end up making more money than you will.
Oh, that could be, yes, sir.
Yeah, what about the kids? Do they like it up here? Should ask them, I suppose. What about Randy? You like it here?
Bradley?
Bradley, sorry.
You should say something.
They like it here, Karen? You seem
Yeah, I think they like it a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Round water, anyhow.
Yeah. So now you're working all day and you're out in boat all day, so they're on their own pretty well, are they?
Yeah, she does a lot of working days.
Is that right?
I do most of the work.
Is that right?
You only be cooking.
That's good for you. Well, Ted, did it take much to build your place here? How did you get materials in?
Oh, not that much. We brought most of it down on a long liner when we came down. A few bits of supplies we needed, we brought over to the corporation over. Wasn't no problem.
I see. So you put it up in a few days, I suppose?
Oh, in about a day, I guess.
Yeah, I see. I see. Well, a lot of places like this sprung up this year, I believe.
Oh, yeah, quite a few. There was only about a dozen or so buildings there last year, I guess. It was building up quite fast.
Yeah. Do you now use the facilities over there a lot? I guess everybody must.
Oh, yes, quite a bit, yeah. We use all the showers and washing and all this stuff, right? Shopping.
Yeah. Do you find it quite a convenience?
Oh, yes, quite a convenience, yeah. Comes in handy.
Yeah. Now, you've fished before on the long. You've been fishing for years on the longliner. Does that make a big difference to a longliner fisherman being able to have a place like this?
Oh, yes, quite a difference, yeah. It's a lot better. Like before on the longliner, right, we'd have to get out the old scrubbing bucket in there, right? But now I just got to hop ashore and go up and do a bit of laundry, get a shower. It's a lot better.
Those who spent weeks away from home living in cramped quarters on a longliner really know how to appreciate things which most of us take for granted, like a shower or a phone call. But to have a place ashore, to be able to go home to your loved ones every evening, is a real treat for Wally Shiner.
Every other year now when I was gone, I always had the worry of the family back home, always wondering how they're doing, you know, especially the kids. But with everybody here, it makes it that much easier, I guess, over.
Now, Wally, some of the boats are coming, some boats are going. They're not going out fishing now, are they?
Well, no, you see that guy there, he's trapping over in Sandy Bay, so he's going back down there, I guess, spend the night, and then he'll come up tomorrow morning again. He makes a trip or two every day up here from Sandy Bay.
So there's lots of nets and cod traps out all around.
Oh, yes, lots indeed. You'd have a job to go anywhere once you goes outside the harbour, you wouldn't see a boy.
There are a lot of nets in the water. There are a lot of fishermen on this part of Labrador. Some are old hands at the Labrador fishery. Some are newcomers. Some do well, others are still feeling their way along, getting used to the grounds and the habits of the fish. But all told, there's been a lot of fish pulled aboard on this coast this year. About 8 million pounds shipped out of Punchbowl alone. We steamed further north till we came to Black Tickle. We could tell by the flocks of gulls that there must be a bit of fish here too. There usually is. Black Tickle was always known as one of the best fishing places on the entire Labrador coast. Not much of a harbour here though, and fresh water is scarce, and there's a lot of fishermen there already. These are just some of the reasons Punchbowl was chosen as the site of the new fisheries complex. But they're not short of fish or fishermen here either, from the looks of things. Lots of boats, and another Aspenite city, built by the fishermen who migrate here in the summer. Cecil, you're from Lansaloo, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe a crowd of you came up here.
Oh, yes, I say there's 14 boats there. And some folks say just now 51, so.
51 people from Lansaloo.
That's right. So I say not too many people left up there now.
No. Now, why did you all come here?
Well, sir, the fish was very scarce up there when we left. There was a bit of fish blanc blanc, so in the gill nets. So we took our gill nets up, and we were told there was a bit of fish down Black Tickle, so we said we moved down here.
You know, you're all in small boats. You're
all in
Silver Tip over there, is it?
Yeah, Silver Tip. That's the one I'm on.
Now, did you come here in that boat?
Oh, yeah.
You steamed along the
I
coast?
steamed all the ways.
It's a long steam for a small boat?
Oh, yes. Well, no, somewhere around 9 hours. We burned somewhere around 70 gallons of gas.
Right. Did you know the grounds up here now, or not?
Well, I only made one trip down there, but I got astray. Yeah. I went in Charlottetown. So that wasn't too bad.
But now, how have you been doing lately?
Oh, doing perfect.
Yeah.
Number one, sir.
Good place for fish?
Perfect place for fish if we can get wetter.
Yeah.
We're always down in fog here.
Yeah, but that the fish don't seem to mind that.
Oh, no, the fish don't mind the fog.
How much have you been getting?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to say how much fish I got, but I say we done marvelous.
It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a perfect year.
Black Tickle was as far north as we went on our voyage this summer. On August 14th, we began the long steam south along the Labrador coast. The coast our people have fished for generations. It was good to see the renewed spark of life and optimism, to know that if the fish are there and the price is right, we're the boys to catch them. Sunday, August 15th, Square Islands. Quiet, peaceful.
It's like this on a Sunday. There's not too many fishermen goes out to their nets and traps. Nobody, as a matter of fact, here on Sundays. Yeah. Nobody pulls their nets on Sundays or their cod traps. But you was here in the weekday now, it wouldn't be so quiet. You hear the motorboats thumping into the harbour and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. How's it been this year?
Well, the salmon was good. One of the best salmon fish we'd had for a long time.
How much did you get, say?
Well, I got about, I guess, around 1,100 salmon. He was around 1,100 tags altogether. Wow. That was the most, and there was only two of us, me and another guy.
And some of those were big salmon?
Oh, yes. Mostly big salmon, yeah. You did get some small salmon now on the latter part of the salmon, but on the first it was all large salmon, 10, 12-pound salmon, average.
You did well with the salmon?
Oh, yes, we done real well.
Yeah, does this surprise you now, or is it the best you've ever done here?
Well, I say it's the good as ever I've done since I was salmon fishing. I've had more salmon probably years back, but the price was lower and we didn't make so much money, you know, as we did this year.
Square Islands was once the summer home for many Newfoundland families. They no longer come, but the Labradorians come out from Charlottetown, and occasionally a boat drops in from Newfoundland. This crew from Cook's Harbour was on its way north to Punchbowl. Fisherman Rex Williams told us about life in Square Islands.
Tell me now about coming out here. Do you come out here in the spring and stay here all summer?
No, we comes out in boat in about June, I suppose, 1st of June or last of May. Depends on the ice, see what time it breaks up.
And you're here till when?
Well, here till October, November.
You don't bother to go back to Charlottetown at all then?
Only when I got to, that's all. Once a month or something. Get the mail and everything.
You've got to keep up 2 houses, then, haven't you?
That's right, yeah. Yeah. One in the bay, one over here. Some fella shifts out on Skidoo and stays and break up, and then he goes back, gets their family and comes out in boat, he shifts out.
Yeah.
But nobody lives there anymore, not in the winter.
Yeah. And do the youngsters, some people have their children here too, then? Or?
Oh, yeah, all children, the land. Ones that comes out with their parents stays until school opens, then they got to go back.
Yeah.
One's now working or something, yeah.
Do you look forward to coming out here now in the spring?
Oh, guaranteed, yeah. Guaranteed to come back out here.
Yeah. I suppose you've got to come out to the islands to make a living.
That's right, yeah. Not much in the bay to do. That's right. So you got to come out here.
On we go again. As a boy, I'd heard stories about fishing ships Harbour from an old Harbour Grace fisherman, and I was curious. So since we were near, Skipper Don agreed to a slight detour. And there it was, fishing ships Harbour. One of the oldest, and in its day, one of the largest rooms on the Labrador. A lot of fish and salt and supplies passed through these old buildings. August 16th. Spent the night tied up in Ship Harbour. Left early in the morning and caught sight of a boat through the fog. It was a trap crew, and from the looks of things, they had a bit of fish. The people who fish out of Ship Cove spend their winters in Port Hope Simpson, shifting out to the coast in the spring, as is the custom all along this shore. You can see why. It's a pretty good place for fish. Carl Parr and his crew dipping aboard the best haul of the season.
Had a good tuck before breakfast. Yes, sir. How much do you figure you got, Carl?
Oh, we got 30 candles.
That's a fine day's pay.
Oh, yes.
That'll keep you busy now the rest of the day, I suppose.
Oh, we can handle more than this.
Yeah?
Good for dinner time.
It's one thing to look at a map and say that Labrador has a long coastline. It's another thing to cruise it. It seems to stretch on forever. I marvel at how the old-time fishermen could pick their way along this jagged coast through all kinds of weather, pushed along only by the wind. This is George's Cove. From the pile of salt on the wharf, we could tell they had high expectations from the fishery here too. The people who live here in the summer winter in Port Hope Simpson. George Daw and Sons of Port de Grave buys fish and supplies the fishermen here. He's hired Sylvia Sampson to manage the premises for him. Sylvia described the fishery at George's Cove.
Today now it's kind of slow, but the fishermen was just getting in and not that much fish here lately. And the traps some of the traps took up. A little bit of fish in some of the traps here now.
Yeah, but now this afternoon there'll be a lot more people around and be a busier place.
Yes, we don't get much fish here in the mornings. Some of the fishermen are salting a small bit of their fish, and they usually wait till their dinner haul, you know, or supper time before they ships here.
Sylvia Sampson is one energetic woman. Besides running the plant and buying the fish, she finds time to fish too.
So how much fish now would you get when you go jigging?
Oh, it's a couple of candles. When the fish is jigging good now, you know, it's not always that, but here lately now been pretty good. You get a couple hours out jigging, you get a couple of candles anyway.
So that's what you do in your spare time. In the daytime, you run the plant here.
That's right. I'm here from 8 to 5. I works here, and then after that, 5 o'clock. Well, like I said, I don't go every evening, but every second evening, goes out for a jig and at the trap first part of the summer. But now we got that took out the water, so we're jigging now, and a few nets out. And there's not that much in the nets, but we're doing very good with jigger.
So all told now, most fishermen here are doing fairly good this year anyway with the fish, are they?
Oh yes, they're doing real well. We had there's about 750 candles salted there in the building now. Because most of the fishermen got a good voyage of fish in their stages. Most of the fishermen here in the Cove here now got what fish they want for their stamps. And this week now we'll have a couple of new crews shipping all their fish to this place here.
So it's going to be a pretty good year for George's Cove.
I'd say there's going to be the best year yet since this place was built.
Well, so far there'd been pretty encouraging words about the Labrador fishery this year. Most people, most places had done fairly well at least, and there were some who had a great year. Is it possible that the fish have returned to the rocky shores of Labrador? Is it possible that the Northern Cod is coming back? If so, why was the fishery a blank in so many parts of the northeast coast? Of course, even here on the coast of Labrador, there are places where the fish didn't strike in, and in some places one crew did well while the next had a miserable year. That happened here in Murray's Harbour. Mr. Poole has split his share of fish over the years. It's time now for the boys to take over. The pools are salting now, but as soon as the plant accepts fresh fish, they're going to switch.
Well, we're going to salt enough to get our stamps, and then we're going to sort of fresh it to open it up, you know.
What's the advantage then? You get rid of more fish?
Oh yeah, you'll be able to spend more time on the water, like, you know.
Yeah. And you figure you'll make more money that way, do you?
Yeah, sure.
And so, for the time being at least, the tradition continues here in Murray's Harbour. Catching, splitting, salting. Salt bulk fish from Labrador, still in demand. In fact, Labrador fish has been the mainstay of the salt fish trade in 1987. For a while, some thought the salt cod would fade into history, as would the coastal Labrador fishery. Perhaps both will someday, but not yet. For salt fish is still king here in the north, and it will be for a while yet. Well, it is time now to leave Murray's Harbour and Labrador. Time to close this Labrador diary. This rambling survey of the Labrador coast in August 1987. We continued south. Though it was late summer, a few pieces of ice lingered as we inched our way back to Newfoundland. A last-minute reminder that though the air was warm, we had indeed been on a northern voyage and seen again the people and the land washed and blessed by the Labrador Sea.